punctures, mechanicals. Such is the duration of this race that almost every rider will have some form of drama or unforeseen mishap. When this happens, the rules are black and white. If you lose time, it's simply tough luck. But the commissars, they are human. And when these things do happen, that hard line can become rather fuzzy at the edges.
Get on with the Boardman.
For large chunks of the day, as long as nobody abuses these unspoken privileges, the riders are given a certain latitude. Here's a few things to look out for. A domestic returning to the car for drinks to fuel up the rest of his team will be forgiven for grasping the bottle in a rather unusual way and then, mid-clutch, drifting off into a dream world while the car coincidentally accelerates to more than 80 kilometres an hour. Yes, many a team manager has inexplicably unequal upper body development.
The man driving the car there, a former wearer of the yellow jersey himself. He's the team manager of Team Sky Pro Cycling, and that is Sean Yates.
While this is okay for a domestic midway through a long stage, if one of the top riders tried to do that in a breakaway, they'd be handed a fine, and maybe even worse, a time penalty. It always amazes me that riders, having suffered a puncture, seem to have a corresponding mechanical with their rear gear or rear brake at the same time, requiring the mechanic to lean out of the window and generically fiddle. So skilled are these spanner men that they always seem to fix the problem in the time it takes to catch up to the back of the peloton at about 80 kilometres an hour too. The hand on the back of the rider, well, that's just to stabilise themselves, of course. For those riders lucky enough not to have a secondary mechanical problem, they always seem to find themselves in a high-speed traffic jam. Poor things.
Just check out the way he's zigzagging left and right. He's looking for any possible bit of slipstreaming from the motorbike, from the cars. He's using everything that he can.
Yes, I never cease to admire their endless patience as they wait behind the car for their turn to pass. Thankfully, these tailbacks also seem to happen at very high speeds, about 80 kilometres an hour, with the rider again finding the opportunity to overtake as they near the back of the pack.
This kind of pacing here, if the referees see this, Phil, they will not be happy with that, because he's being paced by his own team car. And that they will certainly not turn a blind eye to.
Of course, this latitude can be abused, and towards the end of the race or at a critical time, the commissars bring that fuzzy line back into sharp focus, enforcing the regulations rigidly. And they do this with a bit of space.
He's choosing the right car to pace behind because that's one of the race referees, and yesterday a number of riders received small monetary fines for doing just what Alexander is doing right now.
If they feel a rider is extending their time in the convoy to take shelter from the team cars, rather than fine them or make up a time penalty, they simply hold up the convoy and create a gap, known as a barrage between the cars and the peloton, forcing the rider to cross the no-man's land alone. Ask a commissar about interpreting these and many other regulations in this flexible way, and you'll probably be met with a Gallic shrug and a lopsided smile. But one thing's for sure, all of the officials and the riders are fully conversant in these unwritten rules.